Hello everyone. Today I want to take a look at the mercenary system for the Byzantines. Now, I originally was going to make this a full video about the Byzantines, but there is so much to cover in the mercenary system that I felt like it deserved its own video. Byzantines are the first civ in the game with access to a fifth resource, olive oil. This is gained from workers gathering berries, shoreline fish, and orchards, the Byzantine unique farms, as well as fishing boats and traders. Workers cannot gather olive oil from sheep, deer, or boar, meaning that berries and farms are essential for olive oil production. The olive oil generated is not uniform, however. Shoreline fish generate an additional 10% of food as olive oil, olive groves 20%, and berries a whopping 30%, meaning Byzantines had the highest total resource gathered from berries, higher than even Abbasid and Delhi. In feudal, fishing boats and traders generate a flat 20% of these resources as olive oil as well, giving you other ways to generate this resource. This rate can be buffed in the Grand Winery, which gives a 60% gathering buff to villas near this landmark, which can be built in feudal. This bonus is not additive, however, meaning that villas on olive groves drop off 3 olive oil instead of 2, and villas on berries produce 8 instead of 5. The Grand Winery also lets relics inside of it generate olive oil instead of gold, making it another source of olive oil. The Byzantines can use this resource to produce mercenaries from the mercenary houses. These mercenaries are split into 5 different groups. Western mercenaries, which include longbows, Landsknecht, and Streltsky; Silk Road, which include job throwers, camel riders, and the grenadier; Eastern, which include Keshits, Gulams, and tower elephants, each unlocked in the separate age. Mercenaries can also recruit 2 additional units and train 50% faster when constructed next to neutral markets. These 2 additional units can be one of 5 random combinations, including Camel Archers / Musafati, Chuganus / War Elephants, Royal Knights / Horse Archers, Sabahi / Arbaletrier, and Desert Raiders / Mangudai. This means they can recruit units they can recruit the most unique units in the game of every civ except the Japanese, perhaps because of their isolationist tendencies at the time. The last group comes from the Foreign Engineering Company, which allows you to recruit Nest of Bees, Royal Cannons, and the Hoi Hoi Pal Trebuchet. My first thought upon seeing the mercenaries was, do they keep their unique abilities? The answer is kinda. I thought it would be pretty strong in feudal if the Royal Knights regenerated. However, this is not the case. They do get their bonus damage after the charge though. After some more testing, it seems that all your units get their unique abilities, but not the unique abilities that need research until you get to Imperial. You don't need to get the elite contracts, you just need to get Imperial, and then all of these will come into play. So you can't get Chivalry until Imperial, but you also don't need to research it. Another thing I wanted to test is if you got the bonuses from texts that were not unique to the unit, but affected it, such as Royal Bloodlines for French Knights or Marching Drill for the Landsknecht. This also affects them, but doesn't take effect until Imperial. One thing to note is improved text for the Mongols are applied as well. The next thing I wanted to test for the variants that had the same unique units, what civ's bonuses would affect them, and would them both? It seems the primary civ always takes precedence. Gulams get extra health from boot camp, but not the extra attack speed after killing units, or giving extra armor to cavalry. Chuganus don't get the extra bolt from 1,000 bolts. French units have all the same units, and HRE units don't share any unit types. Next thing to test was if they got bonuses from the civs and landmarks. This is where it becomes inconsistent. China units don't get Dynasty bonus or the Spirit Wave bonus. Abbasid units, however, can make siege in the field, Springles and Mangonels. However, they do need siege engineering to get the basic decks, the Rams and the Siege Towers. They get all the upgrades from the House of Wisdom that affect them. However, Desert Raiders from the IU bids can't make siege despite having the option in the House of Wisdom. Another thing is the siege. Byzantines can recruit the Hoi Hoi Pao Trebuchet, the Royal Cannon, and the Nest of Bees. The Royal Cannon gets plus 30% damage and no AoE shot, but this is because the Royal Cannon is actually a separate unit from the regular cannon. The other siege buffs don't apply. The Nest of Bees doesn't get bonus damage and range from the Juicy Legacy, and it doesn't get the extra clock tower health or the additional attack from the China Nest of Bees. The Hoi Hoi Pao doesn't get the bonus health, armor, or damage from Siege Orcs Improved or Treb Damage Improved. However, it does benefit from the unique Byzantine tech, that it gives extra damage and a fire damage over time. Now let's talk about some potential applications of mercenaries. First of all, Mangafai benefit from the Triumph ability, as do all mercenary cavalry, which basically doubles their damage. Since it gives a flat +4 bonus, the Mangadai's 5 damage goes up to 9, and considering they attack extremely fast, it can be very powerful. If you're looking to play into Imperial, getting camels is a must. Not only do they reduce the enemy cavalry's damage, but they are also giving your infantry +2 armor. Taking into account these are only the camel rider and the camel archer, not the desert raider. Now, mercenaries will almost always account for a small percentage of your army, considering you're only getting 20% extra olive oil from olive groves and trade in the late game. However, in the early game, this is not the case, as the berry bushes will give you plus 50%, meaning that you can go hard in feudal with the mercenaries, however, it will tamper off. It's important to scout what units you have access to in your market, as they can be a defining point in your strategy.